I'm Lakshmi Prasanna, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Welcome to the lecture series of image processing. In this session, we will discuss about some morphological operations. So these morphological operations we are going to apply on the image for image analysis. So in this session, we will see some of the morphological operations so first we will see preliminaries. Next, we will discuss about dilation and erosion. Next, we will see about another topic, that is opening and closing. So all these topics we will discuss in detail. So the topics we are going to cover in this session are preliminaries. Next, we will see about reflection and translation. So what is meant by reflection and translation? So how these two terminologies are used in this morphological operation. And next we will see one important term, which is structuring element, and what is the purpose of this structuring element during this image analysis. And next we will discuss about dilation and erosion. Next one, opening and closing. Now we will see about each of these topics in detail. So coming to the first one, that is preliminaries. So here generally we are learning all these topics under one important concept, which is called morphological image processing. So previously, before it is applied on the image, this morphology is the word which will commonly denotes one of the branch related to this biology. And so in that biology, it is going to talk about some of the structures of animals and plants. So previously, this morphology is the term we used to use in the branch biology in order to talk about the structures of animals and plants. And now the same morphology, that is the same word, we are going to use in this image analysis in the context of mathematical morphology, and this will be acting as a tool for extracting the image components. So some of the features that are present in the image, such as it is useful in representing and describing about some of the regions that are present in the image, and it is going to represent the shape of the object, such as boundaries, skeletons, and convex hulls. So all these aspects can be found with the help of the mathematical morphology that we are going to apply on the image. So this morphological technique can be used in image processing during two stages. So this morphology can be used in the stage of pre-processing, or the morphology can be used during post-processing also. So here the operations like morphological operations can be applied on the image during filtering the image, or during thinning of an image, or at pruning of an image. So in all these stages, this morphological technique can be applied on the image. And the language of mathematical morphology is a set theory. So before going to learn about this morphological operations, we need to have some idea about this set theory. Now, so before going to the actual concepts, we need to know what is meant by reflection and what is meant by translation. So these are the two important terms, that is this reflection and translation are the two important terms that we use during this morphological operations. So let us see now what is meant by reflection and what is meant by translation. So here reflection means the reflection of A set B. Here the reflection is denoted by B hat, or it can be called as B cap. So this reflection of A set B can be defined as B cap is equal to W when W is equal to minus B for B belongs to B. So what is the meaning of this expression means? If B is the set of pixels, so if this B is considered as one set, if it consists of a set of pixels, so let us consider this is 2D image and it is representing an object in the image, then what about this B cap? This B cap simply indicates the set of points in whose x and y coordinates have been replaced by minus x comma minus y. Why? Because here W is equal to minus B. So the two coordinates of set B or x and y, it will be indicated in the form of reflection as minus x and minus y. And next important term is translation. So here also the same set B is considered. So the translation of set B at the point z is equal to z1 comma z2. So here the two pixels considered at the point z or z1 and z2. So the translation of set B is indicated as B base z. So this B indicates set and this z indicates one point in set B. And it is defined as B base z, that is translation of set B is equal to C when C is equal to B plus Z for B belongs to the set B. So the meaning of this expression is if B is the set of pixels, so if B is one set and it consists of pixels which represents an object in the image, then B base Z is the set of points that are present in B whose x and y coordinates have been replaced by. So this x and y are the two coordinates that are present in set B at the point Z where Z is equal to Z1 and Z2. So here these 2 points x and y will be replaced with x plus Z1 comma y plus Z2. So this Z1 and Z2 are the 2 points at the point Z, 2 coordinates at the point Z, whereas this x and y are the 2 coordinates at 2 coordinates in set B. So this is what about reflection and translation. And so here this figure says reflection and translation when one input is considered. So here this is figure A which indicates one set. So this is the set we have considered. If we apply translation and if we apply reflection, how it will be looking like. So next, this is figure B which indicates the reflection. That means here you can see this is the point. Okay, so reflection means here at that point it will become minus B. All the coordinates will be included with minus. So here the figure will be reversed. So the coordinates will be at negative side because minus is there. So here this is A set. If you apply reflection on that, then you can observe here. So here is the point, but here this is the point and the remaining figure will be at this side because at the input the figure is at this area. Minus means it will go to the another axis. Next, if you apply translation on this set, it will be replaced with another 2 coordinates, that is x plus z1 and x plus z2. So here actually this is the point where the coordinates of the set B, X and Y are available. Here at one particular point, the two coordinates at Z are taken as Z1 and Z2. So here this is the axis that is considered and it is replaced with some distance after applying translation by Z. Now, so another important concept in this preliminaries are structuring elements. So what is meant by structuring elements? What is the importance of this? How you need to apply this on the image? So here we have discussed about this reflection and translation. Okay. So the set reflection and translation are employed extensively in this morphology to formulate the operations based on structuring elements. So now what is meant by structuring element? So generally structuring element SE. It is indicated with SE, which is called structuring element. So this structuring element, what is meant by this structuring element means it is a small set or sub-images. So you can also call this sub-image, which is a part of the image. We can also call this structuring element as a mask, because we are going to apply this structuring element on the image in order to find the pixel value. So this structuring element is a small set or sub-images that are used to probe an image under the study of properties of interest. Here we can observe the figure. This is the first row. So seeing this first row, what we can understand, this first row represents the structuring elements. So here structuring element will not have any fixed shape. Okay. So in the second row, what we can observe, the structuring element converted into rectangular arrays. Same structuring elements only. This is the second row. So same structuring elements are available here also, but they are represented in the form of rectangular array. So if we observe, these two are the structuring elements. Already they are in the form of rectangular array. But if we see here, these two, they are not in the form of rectangular arrays. So in order to make them as rectangular here, so previously only this is the structuring element previously, but here we have converted this into rectangular arrays by adding some extra spaces. So all these are called extra spaces. So these are added to the actual structuring element in order to represent in the form of rectangular arrays. So generally these are the structuring elements, and here we have represented in the form of rectangular arrays. So what is the purpose of converting the actual structuring element into rectangular arrays means, because while applying this type of structuring elements on the image, it is easy if they are in the form of rectangular arrays. So we have to see that before applying on the images, the structuring element should be in the form of rectangular arrays. So that's why these are converted into rectangular arrays. So same structures only will be there. So we can observe here, this is the actual structure of the structuring element. So this is the actual structure of the structuring element. We have converted this into rectangular array by including all these extra spaces. So if we observe in these structuring elements, here we can observe dots are available. Okay, so here also dots are available. So what that dots indicates means center of the structuring element, or it can be also called as origin of the structuring element. So the dots denote the center of structuring element. So here some of the points are given related to the dots and origin of the structuring elements. So here the origin of the structuring element must be specified. So compulsory before applying the structuring element on the image, the origin must be, the dot must be specified in the structuring element. So the origin of various structuring elements are indicated by black dot. So here we can observe all these are indicated with black dots. They are called origin of the structuring element. And when this structuring element is symmetric, and sometimes the structuring elements may not have any dots. So in such cases, what we have to do means, we have to consider or we have to assume the origin at the center of the symmetry. So at that cases, we only have to assume the origin at the center of the structuring element and we have to do the analysis. So this is the importance of structuring element, and we have discussed about the origin of the structuring element and how the shape of the structuring element should be. So it should be in the form of rectangular arrays, and we have seen how the given structuring element, if it is already in the rectangular form, no problem. If it is not in the rectangular form, we have to convert that into rectangular form by including some extra spaces like this. Next. So here, when we are working with images, that means here these are the structuring elements which are called sub-images. We can also call these as masks. We are going to apply these on the images. So when working with images, we require that the structuring elements should be in the form of rectangular arrays. That's why we have converted the given structuring elements into rectangular structures. How we are going to convert into rectangular structure means, it can be done by appending the smallest possible number of background elements which are shown non-shaded in the figure. So it is necessary to form a rectangular array. So here we can see these are the actual structuring elements. All these we can call as the non-shaded elements. So we have to include that in order to convert it into rectangular array. So the first and last structuring elements in the second row. So here, this is second row. So the first element and this is the last element. So the first and last structuring elements in the second row figure illustrate the procedure, and the other structuring elements in the row already they are in the rectangular form. Now, so if we see the first row, it shows the examples of structuring elements. If we see the second row, all that already these two are in the rectangular form, whereas these two are not in the rectangular form. We have converted that into rectangular arrays. So here this is converted into rectangular array and this structure is also converted into rectangular array. So in this we can observe here the given structuring element, all the elements are shaded here. If it is converted into rectangular form, all these shaded elements represents the structural element, the actual structure. Whereas here we can see all these are the non-shaded regions that are included in order to make the structuring element rectangular. So similarly here also. Okay. Now, so before going to this actual concepts, that is dilation, erosion, opening, closing, all these concepts, we have to know about three important terms. So three conditions while applying structuring elements we have to know. One is fit, another one is hit, and the third one is miss. Okay. So we will discuss about what is meant by this fit, when we call it as hit and when we call it as miss. by considering one example. And so here we have seen the structuring elements. So some of the structuring elements we have seen, for example. So all these structuring elements can have varying sizes. So we have seen these examples. So all these indicates the structuring elements. So all of them are varying in sizes. So usually in that structuring elements, we can observe three different types of values. The three different types of values are 0, 1 and another one is none. It will be indicated with this symbol or simply it will be indicated with don't care. So empty spots in the structuring elements are don't cares. Now we have to follow this. Okay. So let us consider one example and see when at which condition we will call as fit and which condition we will call hit. What is the miss condition? So for example, consider the first case. So here consider this is the structuring element. So I am taking the structuring element here. This is the structure. Okay. And here let us consider image on what we are going to apply the structuring element. So consider the structure of the image is, the size of the image is 3 by 3. So let us consider here 1, 1 and 1. So whatever the remaining values of the image may be also available. So let us discuss in the simple manner. Now, so we are going to place this structuring element on the image. So here this is the structuring element. Okay. The same structuring element can be applied on this image. So in this structuring element here, they did not indicate any origin. So we can consider this is the center pixel. This is the origin. So this pixel, when we are placing this on the image, we have to see that it should be placed on each element, that is each pixel of the image. So if we place this structuring element, for example, if you place this structuring element here, what will happen? This one will be on this one will be here and this one also will be here. Like if the structuring element is placed as a mask on this image, the same 1, 1, 1 will be placed on this 1, 1, 1. So in this case, what will happen means all the pixel matches exactly. So we call this condition as fit. Okay. So we call this condition as fit. So when we consider, let us consider the second case. So that is what about fit. Okay. So if all the elements of the structuring element exactly matches with all the elements in the image when it is placed on the image, then we call that it is fit. Now coming to the next one, hit. So in order to discuss about this, let us consider again the structuring element. So now I will take different structure, for example 1, 0, 0. The same, consider image whose size is of 3 by 3. So this is the image whose size is of 3 by 3. Now if we place this, image, let us consider the pixels of the image. Okay. So if we place this structuring element, that is this structuring element on the image. So let us consider we are placing this structuring element here. Okay. So now this one and this one matches. Whereas here both are zeros, here both are ones. These two pixels will not match. But anyway, in this case, only one pixel will be matching when this structuring element is placed on the image. So here, in this case, only one match is found. That is here, this is one and this is also one. Whereas the remaining two are mismatch. So this condition is called hit. Okay. So now what is meant by hit? So hit means here it should have at least one element match. So here one element is matched. So here we will call it as hit condition. Now what is another condition? Miss. So here let us consider the third case. So I am taking here the structuring element as 0, 0, 0. Okay. And the same image whose size is 3 by 3. Let us consider the pixel of the image is 1, 1, 1. Now, if we place this structuring element on the image, okay, if we place this structuring element on the image, none of the elements are matched. So here it is 0, here this is 1. If we place this structuring element on the image, here it is 0, 1 and structuring element pixel value is 0 and here it is 1. So for example, in such case what we can say? None of the element match. So this condition is called miss. Okay. If not even one element matches, then we will call that condition as miss. So this is what about the three important terms: fit, hit and miss. Okay. So if at least all the elements matches, we call it as fit. If at least one element got match, we call it as hit. None of the element matches, we call it as miss. Now, coming to the dilation and erosion. So these are the two fundamental operations in the morphological image processing. So first we will see what is meant by dilation and what is meant by erosion. So here dilation enlarges the foreground and it is going to shrink the background. Whereas coming to the erosion, this erosion shrinks the foreground and it enlarges the background. So based on the application we have to use. So these two are dual to each other. Okay. So these two are dual to each other. So we can clearly see enlarging the foreground, shrinking the background in the dilation, whereas shrinking the foreground and enlarging the background in the erosion. We can clearly observe this when we are solving the example problems. Now coming to dilation. So this dilation enlarges the foreground and shrinks the background. So this dilation is indicated with this symbol. So it indicates A dilation, B. Now, so it is the set of all points in the image where the structuring elements touches or hits the foreground. So that's why here we can see hit. So when we call it as hit, so we have discussed about already hit condition. So if only if at least one match occurs, then we can say it as a dilation. So consider each pixel in the input image, and this is very important. We have to follow this condition while solving the example problems. So in the structuring element, if the structuring element, so we have seen structuring element is indicated with SE. It is a sub image which we are going to apply on the original given image. So if the structuring element matches completely with the pixel values, or even if at least one element match is found, then at that condition we have to indicate it as 1 at the origin of the structuring element. So this is the very important condition we have to follow when solving the example problems also. Now coming to the applications of dilation. where this dilation can be used. So what is the purpose of dilation means? It enlarges the foreground and shrinks the background. So based on this point, it can be applied in some areas where there are repair breaks in order to bridge the gaps, and it is used for repairing the intrusions, and it is used for enlarging the objects. So for such applications, we can use this dilation. Now, coming to erosion. So what is meant by here erosion? Erosion shrinks the foreground and enlarges the background. And erosion is indicated with this symbol. So it is called A erosion, B. So it is set of all the points in the image where the structuring elements fit into. So what is meant by here fit? We have discussed already. If all the elements of the structuring elements exactly matches with the elements of the image, then we can say that it is fit. So in erosion, this fit condition is followed. Here also consider each foreground pixel of the input image. So if structuring element matches completely with the pixel values, then we have to write it as 1 at the origin of the structuring element. So if exactly match only, we have to put 1. If there is one match or if there is no match also, we have to keep 0. So this condition need to be followed when we are going to apply this analysis on the image. Now coming to the applications of erosion, this erosion can be applied for splitting apart the joined objects, or it can be applied to strip away intrusions, extrusions, and it is used to shrink the objects. So these are some of the applications of erosion. So this is what about dilation and erosion. Coming to the another concept, which is opening and closing. So here opening means it is also related to the erosion and dilution. So this opening means erosion followed by dilation operation. So here we can see the small circle. It indicates A opening, B. So this small circle indicates the symbol to represent opening. So what about this? A means A represents original image. A represents original image, and this B represents structural element, or we can say structural image. So here erosion followed by dilation. So if you see this expression, so here we can see the symbol, and here also we can see the symbol, and this symbol indicates dilation, and this symbol indicates erosion. So here A opening B is equal to the erosion between that A and B followed by dilation operation. And the applications of this opening are, so it is used to identify the gaps in the image, and it is used when the edges becomes sharp or smooth, isolate the objects which are touching one another. So in these type of applications, this opening concept can be used. And the next one we have to discuss is about closing. So this is closing. So opening and closing both are opposite. So here we have seen erosion followed by dilation. So here it is opposite. Closing means dilation followed by erosion operation. So here we can see small dot, so which indicates the symbol for closing. So this symbol represents closing operation between this A and B. So here also same. So what is meant by A? It represents original image, and this B represents structural image or structural element. So this is dilation followed by erosion. So this is the symbol of dilation, and here this is the symbol of erosion. So A dilation B followed by erosion of B. Now coming to the applications of this closing. So this concept is generally used to fuse the narrow breaks and eliminates the small holes. So we will see the example problems for this dilation, erosion, opening and closing in the upcoming sessions. Now, so here one example figure is considered. So this is the figure of A, this is B and it indicates C, this is D, E and this is F. So here what this image says means, so here we have taken the fingerprint. So the binary image is shown in the figure because it is binary means 0 and 1. So completely this image is in black and white color, which shows the section of a fingerprint. Okay, so this is the binary image we have taken as an input, and this image is corrupted by a noise. So the main objective, see here, this is the image which is corrupted by a noise. So what is the main objective means? The main objective is to eliminate the noise and its effect on the fingerprint while distorting it as little as possible. So the main objective is eliminating the noise that is present on the fingerprint. So here, in order to avoid the noise, we know the filter should be applied. Here, this is the structuring element. It is in that rectangular shape. That structuring element is the sub-image, which can also be used as a mask, or it is also called as a filter. That should be applied on the image in order to eliminate the noise. So a morphological filter consisting of opening followed by closing can be used in order to reach that objective, that is filtering the noise. So here this is the structuring element which we are going to apply on this image. So this is the noisy image and this is figure B, the structuring element which we are going to use on that image, which acts as a filter to avoid the noise. And here this is figure C, which indicates the eroded image, that is after performing the erosion operation. And next, this is the D image, which indicates the output of the opening operation. And here this is E, and that E image indicates the dilation of the opening operation, and the last one is closing of the opening. Okay, so if you are going to apply all these concepts, we have seen how that particular noisy fingerprint look like after performing the filtering operation. So opening, closing, dilation, erosion, all are applied, and we have seen after applying that how the output fingerprint looks like. And this is what about some of the morphological operations. So we have seen preliminaries and some important terms like reflection, translation, structuring element, and we have discussed about two more important concepts, that is dilation and erosion, and next opening and closing. So in the next session, we will solve some example problems related to dilation, erosion, opening and closing. So the textbook we have referred for this content is Rafael C. Gonzalez by Digital Image Processing, second edition. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.